I will talk English in this video. I have this idea that we live in a four-dimensional space. Actually, our three-dimensional space is inside of the greater dimensional wise in the four-dimensional space. And I have this idea and I would like to talk about it. I'll upload this video on YouTube and Instagram. My reason to speak English is I want this video to spread more on the internet, and I want to hear others' opinion about this, about my thoughts, my imagination, and my ideas. Generally, my videos are in Turkish, so yeah. So I have this idea that even dimensional spaces and shapes have these societal beauty norms, beauty standards. It is funny to say it out loud with these words like beauty standards, because it's not talked often that certain shapes and dimensions can look very different, as if they are one more dimensional in higher dimensions. When we think about a three-dimensional space, all we can think about is a three-dimensional volume, a three-dimensional volume that is restricted in its measures, and that's it. Like, that's three-dimensional. And I want to talk about my idea by giving an example. So this paper, we already know that it is three-dimensional shape. It is three-dimensional object. But I want you to consider this as a two-dimensional object. So as you can see, it has height and width, but I want you to consider it as it has no depth. Like this doesn't exist. Like this little thickness doesn't exist. So this is just a surface. This is just a surface. This is two-dimensional. And I want you to look at it and say to me that it is two-dimensional. Because right now in our reality, in this video, this is two-dimensional. We are considering this as two-dimensional object. Okay, right now this is two-dimensional, right? Yep. So this surface, I'm going to kind of gently, little bit bend this surface. Now I bend this surface, but it is still two-dimensional, right? I haven't changed anything about the object. I didn't give it any depth. It has only this area and this area. Like, it doesn't have this thickness. This is just a surface. I just bent it. It is still two-dimensional. So what if I bend a little more, like this? They don't touch each other, like this. But it is still two-dimensional, right? It is still two-dimensional object. see, this is still two-dimensional object. Now what if I do this? This surface is bent in a way that's like this, but it's you know, proportions hasn't changed. It is just two-dimensional. It is still surface. I just bent it like that because we are in this three-dimensional space and we are observing it. We can observe it, but it is still two-dimensional. So I have this idea that for the entities that live on this two-dimensional space, for them, having a two-dimensional space like this or like this doesn't have any difference. It doesn't have any difference. The entities that live inside of this two-dimensional surface, they will never realize the difference. For them, it is still two-dimensional. It is still two-dimensional. But only the observer from a higher dimension can realize that the lower dimensions can look different. Maybe in this two-dimensional space, there are some aliens living here. In the surface, some aliens lives here. And then some other aliens that they don't know each other, they live here. And they are neighbor to this space. They can, you know, go and travel this area of their space, which is normal. It's just, you know, it's normal. It's the part of their two-dimensional area, and they don't realize it. It's like this is the this part. They don't realize it. They're in this two-dimensional space. You know, they can travel here, and just like an entity, someone from here can travel to here. Or someone can travel from here to here, right? It is a long distance, but it can happen. So as you can see, if I put a dot on the surface, so someone from here can go to here. It has the shortest path when we look at it from here. But how can someone go from here to here? Like it's such a long distance, and maybe their technology or their equipment doesn't give that accessibility to travel that far in their space. Maybe it is not possible for them, neither for them or for them. But if you look at it in this, but if their space is like this, but if their two-dimensional space is like this, which is still a two-dimensional space, still this is a two-dimensional object, the aliens can travel to these aliens. But in fact, this is one way, one direction, one destiny, like one path to go from here to here. But there's also another path, like from all the way up here. Like this is also another path. but they don't know this part, because from their perspective, this is what they see. Like, yeah, I can go from here, and they don't know that their two-dimensional space has a it looks different in upper dimensions. It is kind of curved and intersected, maybe, which is possible. So because of this intersection, these aliens don't know about this, but they can travel here as if like there is, as just like this, you know, just like this. It doesn't feel any difference for those aliens. So what I want to talk about by this example is that our three-dimensional space, what we, like when we say space, I mean by that, like our space. When we talk about our space, our three-dimensional space can look different in higher dimensions. It can bend our three-dimensional space. It can bend, and still it can be a three-dimensional space. Sorry. So our three-dimensional object space doesn't change at all, but it can, you know, bend, it can intersect, you know, like maybe it's like this, maybe they intersect at only one point, maybe only one point. Or they intersect on a line in this two-dimensional object. But what about our three-dimensional space? It can have these intersections, these bends, curves that can be only realized from upper dimensions. We cannot realize them, and that's totally fine. So maybe for our three-dimensional space, the intersections can be like, I don't know, two-dimensional. Yeah, the intersections can be two-dimensional. Maybe, like, I don't know, like, but I'm certainly sure that whether or not we realize it or not, there is, just like in this example, there is two shortest paths to go from here to here. One here, the other one traveling all the way from here. So our three-dimensional space can have these properties that can make us go through from one point to another in a short amount of distance. Like, we can use these intersections. And maybe now you're wondering, like, okay, but do we know that our space, our three-dimensional space, has these curves? Like, it's not just flat 3D. It's like, you know, we can only realize it on the higher dimension, right? So do we know anything about this? For me, I don't know, but I have some ideas. Not theory, not proof, nor anything scientific, but I'm just, you know, as someone human from this planet, I'm just have these ideas that like I saw something before on the internet, this called Einstein Rosen Bridge Theory, something like that. It was something like that. I don't want to talk false, but it was something like that. So, and I was like, now that I'm thinking, like, maybe, okay, maybe these wormholes, these Einstein Rosen bridges, like in theory, or maybe black holes can provide that intersection for our space. This is just what I believe, but sadly, though, believing is such an non-scientific word nowadays, like as if believing is something opposite of science. So I am at the end of my video. What I want to say is that I have this question: does everyone agree to me? Like, I want, like, if possible, if any scientists come up on my video, I want them to comment on my video. Like, is it possible? Like, does it, like, any of what I said, does it make any sense? Like, is this idea good? Is this idea valid enough to think about it? Or for the black holes, what I don't know, instinctively, I feel like black holes are kind of like that. Like if a two-dimensional space is already like this, and because there are so many mass here, it becomes a black hole. Like, so many mass, and so much so that, like, it pulls its own space. It pulls its own space, just like magnet. The space becomes poof, like they pull each other, you know, just like kind of gravity. Like, so I don't believe in any scientific fiction movies that when people go inside a black hole they die. I just don't know. I don't know, but I don't think if we go inside a black hole we die. I don't think. No, it is just a mass structure that is so mass and so dense that it's like it pulls its own space. And well, at the end of the tunnel, yeah, well, it's not a tunnel though, it's just structure. But you know, you're like, if you go from here you end up here, like two different parts of the space. So that's what I wanted to talk about in this video. I hope someone watches all my video, like all 18-19 minutes of this video. I'm sorry if that was too long. I'm kind of happy because some things takes long, but I'm grateful that if what I said is expressed with quality, if I'm glad. So I hope some scientists watch this video, and I just want to talk about this idea. Like, I don't even know, like, I have this instinct, this feeling that, like, this information, I have this, like, and I'm just giving it here. Like, I don't even know, it doesn't come from anywhere. Like, I don't know, like, I just wanted to share, okay? So if there's any scientists, any physicians watching this video, I appreciate if you leave any comments or any thoughts. I appreciate it because I think in science we have these beauty standards of believing, like even in science, like one day, because like not in one day, but eventually we're gonna be like, oh damn, like that's what the reality is, like, because as humanity we will discover so much more, and we must let go of these believing standards, like believing societal norms, pressures, even about science. Like I believe that we have this, learned and discovered great things in science, and for some things, for some things, we need. All I think is we need to pack them up. Just pack them up. Pack all the info for certain area, just because there is so much information in our science that people, even science, like we don't even know all of them all at the same time. Scientists always, we as humans developing, evolving, discovering, science advances, but I think some things are not to be discovered but only to be like merged. We need to merge some informations in science, and that will allow new discoveries and new area of wisdom about our reality. Thank you for listening to my video. I hope you like it. Have a great day.